5XX. So these were sent to me a while ago with no original packaging, like it was just a box and with the wire, and it's not the worst HiFiMan wire. It's all right. It's good. And 5XX means that it's supposed to be like the 500, the HE 500. If you look back on this channel, like, oh, I don't know, it feels like 10 years ago, but it's more like 6 years. Shit, was it been 6? I lived in the other apartment for 5, and I definitely did the 500s when I just moved to that apartment, and now it's been, so yeah, probably 5 or 6 years ago. And the way I described the HE 500s was Charlie Sheen Tiger Blood Crazy. Remember when that was a thing? Remember when that was a thing? You probably don't. But I had the HE 400s and the HE 500s at the same time. And I really loved the 400s. But then the 500s were just better. And what Mass Drop or Drop is trying to do with HiFiMan is make 5XXs, which are trying to be the spiritual successor to the HE 500s. And although I haven't heard a set of HE 500s in like 6 years, I'd say they pretty much nailed it. Like, the one thing you could always recognize is that when Drop tunes a thing by someone else, as long as the thing someone else is providing isn't total shit, which with HiFiMan, you're always... you end up... There's no bad HiFiMan headphones. No, wait, I said that wrong. There's no bad drop-tuned HiFiMan headphones. I like the 4XX. They're not like audiophile, you know, obviously these compete with fucking HD 800S, but I like what they sound like. They always have a sound that's very specific to them that will be pleasing to someone down the road. And it's taken me a long while to figure out how to make these go. But now that I know how to make them go, and the secret, so you don't have to wait till the end of the video, is turn your fucking amps way up. Has sort of unlocked these as, like, I feel like my ears are gonna bleed, but the best type of blood. Like that really good elf blood, like the one that's the stuff that you take out and you dab it on a sick horse and the horse rises up and is fine. So I've been clearing off my desk because I am planning to move it to the other side of the basement, which means I'm left with just the stuff over here. So I've got the topping A90 running off the Modius, and I've got the Rebel amp, the Class A Rebel amp, 1 watt per channel, running off the own X8 Magic Jack. And the other thing I found out about these 5XXs is that they're very amp dependent. Now this stack is specifically designed to not sound neutral. The DAC itself has got the op amps change, which makes it a little bit warmer, and it's a Class A, and it's from Ukraine, and it's the one that's competing with the Flux amp, and the Flux amp is much more neutral than this one. This one's a little bit softer on the top end, and that's fine. That's what this stack is for. I'm Zeos. I get to have multiple stacks of different signatures. Eventually, this will be all stacks, but not not those type of stacks that like just relax. And going from what I consider neutral, and the Modius is enough for neutrality, and the A90 is fucking neutral, to the Rebel amp, there's an actual, like, plausible difference. But what's not different is I have this on high gain at like 230, and this on high gain, which is still playing. How loud is this about to be? At 230 or 130? Oh, that's the pillows. Oh, that's Muse? I was confused. I thought that was the pillows from FLCL. Anyway, that's loud, very poorly recorded stuff. All of Muse stuff is basically poorly recorded. So I wouldn't recommend blasting that. But you get something quality. Skipping around till quality shows up. Oh. You need to move these drivers in a way that makes them... fuck your face, literally. Because they play at low volume, and you're like, oh, these are very delicate, calming, you know, they're probably the most, I'll give them this credit, they are the most open planar. Like, they weigh nothing. I guess I should go around to build first before I get to the sound. I always do the sound like never. I never talk about the sound, it's irrelevant. So let's do that. Let's talk about the build first. The wire is a standard HiFiMan fair. I like the long Y. The Y splits all the way over there. This could probably use a little more stretching out. I've been using other cables for it. Go balanced. For the review itself, doesn't matter. I'm just doing this. One of the things about the HE500s that was like you knew you had HE500s was they weighed enough to be used as a boat anchor. You just put a chainer on the top, fling them off your boat, drags along the seabed floor, hooks onto a rock, and you stay there. These are... they almost feel like they're knockoffs. You know when you get like a knockoff, even a fucking alarm clock or a coffee maker, and you get it at Walmart and you pick it up and it weighs nothing and you know it's going to break in like 3 minutes? That's what this feels like in your hands. Because they've removed half the magnets. The magnets are only on one side of the driver instead of both. Because the way planar works is they run the wires down the membrane, and you usually put magnets on both sides of opposing force, and it causes the membrane. So they only have the magnets on one side, which means it's lighter, which also means they had to make those magnets stronger. And judging from the looks of it, they haven't like removed any rows. I can take the pads off in a second. We'll get to the pads. The pads... I wish the pads were more easily changeable because I have a feeling they'll be amazing with different pads. Like, fuck you amazing. They went with the old style headband, and I actually did check up on the drop comments because they are live. And I see a lot of the complaints about why they even bother with this drop. Why even bother with this drop headband? Just put the other headband on. And I like this headband more than the other headband because, number one, it looks better when you're wearing it. If you're going to wear these out, which, again, you have to be prepared for everyone who's outside of your area, like all the way over there, to be able to hear what you're listening to. So please, no VTubers. These anime VTubers are just gonna be screaming, so you don't want that. But I don't have a problem with this headband. It's simple as dirt, and I don't know if these are breaking. They used to break on the old HiFiMans. The old HiFiMans, you did this, and this piece of plastic would get stressed the fuck out and just eventually go pop off, and then you had a broken headphone. And I've not had that problem with this. I did do some modification to the headband of loosening it up like I like to do, like with that. Like just there's a spring steel in there. You could just feel it. And it was weird because he's had a pretty okay clamp, but they weigh nothing and the pads are giant egg shaped. And when it was on my head, it didn't feel right. Like it felt wrong. It still kind of feels wrong. But they're so good, I don't care. So that they weigh very little. This is metal. This is just bent metal. It doesn't hint. It doesn't pivot. The pivots are locked inside the drop dots here, which wiggles fine. It's fine. It's fine. For the price, it'll be fine. And then you put them on. I've been really trying to get them to like fit comfortably, and I think it's because the pads are a weird shape and they're a bit stiff. These are not like memory foam. They're just regular foam, and they're very wide. There's a lot of meat here. There's much meat touching the sides of your head. And so the clamp, excuse me, I'm dying. Either the clamp has to be stronger to crush it against your head, which it wasn't, or I did what I did and just loosened the shit out of it so that it barely, like, it's shipped 9500s now. It like barely clamps on my head. It just gently floats. It's like 1266 Abyss. It just floats there now. And with them on, I hear everything. Not in the music, like real life. There's nothing between. Even Sundara, which I have to compare a little bit to Sundara. The Sundaras even block more sound than this. And the Sundaras are pretty fucking open. But these are like way open. These are like, I don't know what they've done. It's just a big gaping hole, it feels like. And when you push music through it, let's stick with the Megalobox soundtrack, although it's probably going to play so loud. Certainly, the best planar that Drop has ever put out. Without question. And once you get the comfort sorted out, you loosen them up, you get the feel for them, and you just let them play. And then you start raising volumes, and you find the amp combo that you like the best. I prefer a bit softer. If you want to go and, you know, retrieve every minute detail above like 6K, you could just do that. By the way, high gain like 130. Like the ringing of this piano, it's just... Someone jokingly asked me, are these better than Aria? And Aria's like, what, 12, 1600? A lot. Aria's a lot. And I'd probably listen to these more than Aria. Because I never... Either my pair of Arias were not the greatest pair of Arias, and something was wrong with them. Or they're just, it's not my groove, baby. Baby, it's not my groove. And these... with a little shaved off the top, are my groove. These are one of those impressive headphones. You take these and put these on someone who's never heard a good headphone, and then they'll know. It might take them 5, 10, 15 songs, but they're going to go, wow. I didn't realize this was capable of sounding like this. This is for another review, by the way. This is upcoming. Don't focus too much. Focus on that instead. Because Girl in Panzer was fucking great. Better character development than Game of Thrones. Certainly in the later seasons. So yeah, I guess you're going to ask me now specific questions about how it sounds. Let's go back to sounds. Let's talk about Sundara. Sundara is in my head, because I can only remember like how a headphone feels, because I've got like 50 headphones upstairs and like 3 or 4 like lying around, and I have to look at a headphone and I can't remember exactly how it sounds, but I remember how it makes me feel about the music being played through it. That's the only way my brain can calculate and collate so many experiences. You know, movies, you think about a movie and you think about, well, did that movie make me feel excited or sad or hungry? Like that's what you break it down into a feeling, and then the details doesn't really matter. And not sitting down here, I didn't want to bring the Sundaras down here and just do A, because I know that's what I would obsess myself with. And I know the comments are just going to be like, but what about Sundaras? Yes. What about Sundara? What about it? What the fuck about it? Stop. Let's give this headphone a chance to speak for itself before I go comparing it to its older brother. It's more open. I got to put on a real bassy song. Give me a second. Luckily, I'm right where I need to be. Yeah, these do more low end by a large margin, but not like they're too open. They're too open, physically open on both sides. It's like an open baffle speaker. If you've never heard an open baffle speaker, it's like your car stereo, are all open baffle. There's no box that holds that speaker in it, that it can be compressed. It has a port. They're just shooting into the trunk and into the doors, it's whatever. So imagine good bass on that, what that sounds like. It's not really like a tight, sealed thing. It's just sort of like a whooah, whooah. And that's, I think, another reason why I'm up at like absurd o'clock with all my amplifiers. And that's why when I first tried this, I tried it on something small like the BTR5. This needs more than a BTR5. This would need like an X2O, X2O5 Plus, like a 1 watt per channel, like actual amplifier to make the goes happen. But once you make the goes happen, it sounds like I'm in a metal concert. Just I'm right there on stage with everything that's going on, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. My eyes are bleeding, but this is great. So the Sundaras are tea on a Saturday afternoon. And these are 3 shots of whiskey, and then Fireball, and then a steak. I don't know, there's just a steak in there, and then more whiskey. Every day, just every day. Monday at 5:30 in the morning. That's what these are. Because I'm enjoying the hell out of them, even though from like just if I go away from them and I come back, or I put on like the Phoenix and come back, I'm like, holy God, what's happening? I'm being assaulted. keep doing it. This is a choke me harder daddy headphone. And that's why I'm sort of like biased towards like the softer side of amplification. But I don't care what the track is. Like that's wonderful right off the bat. Is that you put them on and you're just like, okay, I need something else. Jerry Goldsmith Total Recall soundtrack. Yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, the only way I could describe like Soundstage Imaging on this headphone. Imaging this way is actually not that spectacular. It's not like laser etched across, you know, a perfect line. What I'm getting instead of this is I'm getting two arcs. Let me explain what this sounds like, all right? Give me can I have a minute? You're here in the middle. You are this mouse. By the way, Zeos, link to a Rocat Kova if they still sell it. I don't think they still sell this, but I love it. It's perfectly symmetrical, and that makes me happy. Whereas normal headphones are like here, like here's stuff in front of you. These arc around you and then have points of reference front and back. That's very hard to do. It's very hard to do front and back on a headphone. And I think it's got to do with the drivers being literally fucking gigantic. But I'm not getting like, oh, perfectly across my head. I'm getting like I'm standing in the pit with an orchestra. Because that's exactly what Jerry Goldsmith, the implant from Total Recall, is. I hear everybody playing all around me. And that's very, 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 very hard to do. I'm trying to think of another headphone that's done that. Maybe like Ether 2s. Like high-end planars accomplish that. But most of the time, it's just like a perfectly linear, straightforward. This is nice. Oh, they've missed you, baby. I leave the door open now because we've murdered all the spiders, mostly. I know. Go find one. Everyone's happy to see you, Boop Boop. Who's your rubbing face? Who's rubbing your face? I'm talking about 5XX. More like 5XX. Oh. You know, I'm you're not presented with music in front of you anymore. You take the headphones, you take them off, and instead you are just fucking head rammed. Oh God. Into the music. You are just in it. Why am I standing? I don't do that. You basically are shoved head first like the hound into the fire. But you love it there. That's the best description I can give you. You're not going to read that on a fucking measurement chart. I mean to make a whole video where I just complain about people measuring headphones and then judging it completely on that. I hate that. I hate that. That's like such a small aspect of what makes a headphone good, because measurements can't tell you soundstage or imaging or if the bass is impactful or not. I can tell you how it measures, but they just can't. You can't. It's like reading the ingredients list for fucking ice cream and going, "Oh, I'm not going to like that ice cream. It has polysorbonate carbon acid." How about the methodology they use to make it, the temperature they're storing it at, the quality of the chocolate? They don't talk about that. Fuck, I hate measurements. That's why DMS hates the goddamn Phoenix. I'm like, no, but listen to them with your ears. Well, I've listened to these with my ears, and I'm sure these measure just wildly flat at the top end. Hi, baby. Because usually headphones that measure flat at the top end are a little bit trebly, and probably why I throw them on. I don't want people going out and grabbing these or getting in line to grab them because it's drop and thinking that they're going to be just like this perfect, everyone's perfect headphone. These are an aggressive fucking headphone, but it might be the best aggressive headphone I've heard. So there you go. That's all I got to say. If you want to comment down, you know what? I haven't turned, that's not a, see, I got to get rid of my fucking balanced tube amp and get a regular non-balanced tube amp out here. I think I had one set up earlier, and I didn't play it loud enough. This might not be suitable for a tube amp that doesn't have massive power. Hi. Where are you going? She's so cute. So the question of should you 5XX? Yes, if you have these, and these are nice and calm and milky and smooth, and then you want to have something that's like, what's the exact polar opposite of that? Because I'm a big fan of polar opposites. Not just like slightly different sound fields or sound. Like if you have a pair of open headphones, buy a closed. You have a gentle, soft headphone, get an aggressive one. Break your neck every time you switch back and forth. I have a big fat American muscle car and a 97 Toyota Corolla 1.6. Like that's the difference. I want the little old Corolla with a manual and the fuck you 500 crank horsepower American Australian muscle. Like that's what I want. I don't want to get into a slightly smaller, still sedan, still V8, but has a CD player and doesn't have a tape deck. No, go big or go home. Huge differences or go home. I mean, my apartment to this house, huge difference or go home. So, you beeping at me? Oh. All done, baby. I'll come up and play with you now. I have to cut this review short because my cat is lovely. I'll take the pads off. I hate the fact that they're clipped on. And why is that one stuck? There we go. So you can see that they're just mesh over it. And so you can't just get a pad and put it on there because it's got this clip ring and you'd have to tear apart this. I wish they wouldn't do this. I'm sure they're going for a price point, but I wish this was just not glued on, but some sort of lip ring. I guess 3D printing people, which I have a 3D printer, could make something like that up. Either way, that's a lot of driver in there. And I think you're going to enjoy getting punished, right? Hurt me bad, but oh, so good. So, yes. Gaming, by the way, because apparently my gaming videos get more views than any of my other videos. And I don't specifically talk about gaming a lot, but you could timestamp to this point. If you play first-person shooters, despite the fact that these have actually good solid low end, which a lot of first-person shooters are I don't want that. Boom booms scare me. I want to only hear footsteps, or the boom booms will distract me. The treble and aggressiveness of this, regardless of the imaging being slightly off because of that, fuck. Literally, you may scream the F word if something explodes near you and your amps are set high enough. Because that's what aggressive does, baby. Aggressive gets into the animal part of your brain and says, you're in danger. You're in danger. You hear this. If an actual explosion goes off and you're on Normandy Beach in real life, your brain is endorphins, run away, bury yourself, do something. So that can happen with headphones that are aggressive enough. In fact, I should make the gaming video and talk about physiology with that. We'll see. Anyway, that wallpaper, which is a girl from Girl in Panzer, which is a show that, like I said, when I was watching Girl in Panzer while season 8 of Game of Thrones was on, and I would do one a week or just spread it out because it was a great show. And when the show was over, when both shows were over, I looked back and said to my friends, that show has better character development for 40 random tank driving anime girls that all look almost identical than all of Game of Thrones did in the last 3 seasons. I understand all of their motivations, where they want to go, what the plot is, and where we're going, and how we're going to get there. Game of Thrones is a pile of garbage. So I recommend Girl in Panzer for people who hated the end of Game of Thrones. Right? Right. So wallpaper available in the description of this video. If you'd like to support this channel, Subscribestar and Patreon are available. The $5 tier lets you see these reviews early, although not today, because this one has to come out publicly, real soon. Real fucking, actually be left hand would be the real. And so this one's skipping Patreon because it's not going to make a difference, really. Usually it's put there, you got a week ahead of the public audience, and they won't sell out. There's not a limited supply of these. In fact, you're all going to get in fucking line for probably 7 months? I'm going to say 7 months. That sounds like a good guess. Or they're actually going to just drop it and they'll ship them in a week. Because that'd be fantastic. They really should. They know they got a winner. People have ears. So, see these reviews early. Ask me questions on platform and I'll get to you. Please, I'm so far behind. I've got 100 messages still and I keep It's been like 3 weeks with 100 messages. I can't break them down. My soul just crushes it. I want to play Minecraft and not answer questions, but I'm going to answer your questions and participate in the yard sales, which are from the 1st to the 10th of every month. I will still ship international, but the prices have gone insanely high. If you don't know, 1st to the 10th of every month, I just take a bunch of stuff the company has sent me. Probably not these, because I'm not sure. These are a pre-production set, if I should return them or not. But other things that I have bought. Stop playing with the fans. Things that I just got lying around. Things I'm unpacking going, I'm never going to use this. I'm not selling the tux. They're too pretty. But they go in the yard sale from the 1st to the 10th. If you can auction, you can bid on them as long as you're in the $5 tier. And so I'll give you $84.19 for that. And if you're in the US, I ship for free. And if you're not in the US, it's usually half shipping. I may have to adjust that because it's fucking expensive. Like RB42s to UK, $310 expensive. Fuck. Paying half of that is like more than the cost of the entire speaker. Those are the 3 $5 benefits. The other benefit you can get, other than a full archive of all the wallpapers I've ever used, so you could search out the original artists, $10 chat, private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat for VIP members of Z Reviews, away from the public Z Reviews Telegram and the public Z Reviews Discord, but not away from the amazing Hi-Fi Guides and Hi-Fi Guides forums, which are fantastic. And by the way, you know I still have a subreddit? Like, I haven't updated it in like 2 years because I've just been... But RZOS is still a thing, and RZ Reviews is still a thing. I haven't been there in a while either. I apologize to my people on Reddit. I just abandoned that site. It hurt just to go there. Just the front page started turning to shit, and there's no point in being there. And I love you guys and anyone who still holds on to the spirit that was old Reddit, but they broke it pretty bad. So, you know, that's why I made a forum, or else I would have just said, fuck it, just keep pushing them to Reddit. So, Hi-Fi Guides, the forum, Hi-Fi Guides, the site, Patreon, Subscribestar, Telegram, Discord. There's an IRC, but I don't think I've been able to log into it. I think I might have lost my privileges. And, I do stream. I'm going to just say that I stream Wednesdays and Sundays for the last, like, 3 years. If you want to watch me fix things in my house and clean up and cook, usually cook, and maybe ask me some questions on the chat, I'm there. That's it. I got to go download this, encode it, watch it, make links, and get it ready for publication. So until then, how does this sound without any... Okay, don't do this. Oh God, don't do this.